So, good afternoon, my friends. It is Sunday, January 2nd. It is about midday here in New York. So, what do you do on January 2nd? You look at the previous year in review. So, this is going to be like it's going to be a review of my Diecast Year 2021. And part of it is going to be talking about some of the diecast that I discovered, but also some of the diecast channels, some of the friendships I've made, some of the little tips that have been passed on to me. I'm gonna warn you: go get a cup of coffee or a bottle of water. Go get your ashtray or whatever you need, because this could. I keep on saying they're going to be short videos. This one could be quite long. Quite long. Whatever the limit is for the phone battery and for YouTube. I think that's about like 30, 35 minutes or so. I don't know. Could be 10 minutes. Who knows? But number one, I want to thank all of you for watching for the past year or so that I've been doing this. Honestly, I think it's almost 2 years that I've been doing this. I started, collecting diecast again after stopping for many years. I had started collecting, I played with diecast and had diecast when I was a young boy. But by the age of 15, I pretty much stopped. And I don't have any of my childhood collection. My family moved a few times, and then I moved a few times afterwards, and other things become priorities. But around the late 90s or the year 2000 or so, I started collecting again, and I started collecting mostly Johnny Lightning. So I have a fair, I consider myself to have a fair size collection, but not by some people's standards. I still think I'm a small time collector. But my childhood love was Matchbox, and then Corgi. But of course, I think I only have one or two Corgis in my collection, and Corgi didn't do a lot in 3-inch or 164. I primarily stick to 164. I do have scales right up to 118, but that is not my main collection. My main collection is this. So 3 minutes into it, and I haven't shown any diecast love here. So, first off, I want to thank some of the best friends in diecast you can have for teaching me so much over these past 2 years, and sending me so many generous gifts. I've sent them some pitiful gifts, but I don't consider it trading. If I send somebody cars, I'm sending them something that I think they'd like, that I think would add value, to their collection in some way. I don't send somebody anything with the expectation of anything in return. So most of what I sent will be, mainline. There are some collectors that I do. I use the term gift. They, I guess, think of it as trade, but that I do send them some stuff, and they do send me some stuff back, and mostly it's random acts of kindness on their part and so forth. There are a few people, very small number of people, that I will send a picture of via text or email and say, hey, is this something that would interest you? Oh yeah, no, I need that for my collection. But it's a very, very small part of what I do. If you watch my channel, you know that I love to tell stories about the cars that I have. Oh, I had this when I was younger, or my friend had this, or whatever it may be. So I have a thing, but not an exclusive thing, for cars in the box, whether it be Mini GT or Majorette, Johnny Lightning, Matchbox, whatever it may be, Atomica. I started with about 5 brands in my collection. I have over 50. and that'll be a future video later this month as I try and catch up. So most of the brands that I have are fairly known to collectors, and every now and then you do find something that is totally bizarre. So I'm going to show some of my oddest finds for the year. And one of them is this beautiful Ford Focus from China that has no information about the actual diecast on the packaging or on the car. So this comes to a situation where it was produced for Ford, so it is licensed by Ford, we believe, but we don't know. But it is a highly detailed diecast, and it was found on eBay. It's one of these things that popped up, and I don't know if they're still available. But it's very good. I would say it's on par with like Mini GT or probably Mini GT or at least Malibu International Greenlight. It's a very nice. I mean the details are nice. It's inserted details. I've done a video on this car before, but that is a no-name brand. Here's another one. This Porsche, which I know that several people that I am friends with, or people that I just sort of know, they've mentioned and oh, I have that, but I have it in yellow, or I have it in red, or silver. In fact, it's very similar to this Mini GT in the background. They're both Porsche 911 GT2 RS. Now, the reason this one sort of swings in the case is because it's only got a single screw, and I don't like to tighten them so much that it bends the bottom of the car or anything. But this is it. This is probably one of the best detailed cars I have in diecast. I like this so much, and I know that several of my friends had one, but there was one friend I knew who didn't have this car because he doesn't really go for these brands, but it was so good. I ordered it, and this is around $20. This is not an incredibly expensive purchase, but I'll tell you what, it's sort of odd because, like I said, there's no. It says Porsche there, but you can't tell who made it. It is such a nice vehicle, very Mini GT style. But I mean, just slightly better. I forget what it was. I did a video comparing this directly to. This is one of my top 10 cars of 2022, and I can't tell you who makes it. And you know what? I'm okay with that. It's got soft mirrors like a Mini GT, so you're not terribly worried about breaking them. It is just a really, really nice piece that I'm very happy to have in my collection. And I hope my friend that I sent it to appreciates for what it is, especially because it took so long to come, because that would be our story for 2021 is the nightmare that is shipping and delays. So those are two no-name brands. There were other brands that I discovered through friends. And so this is the part of the video where I'm going to start giving shout-outs. Channels that I watch that I think you should watch, and people that I consider friends, even though I've never met them, but I have spoken to them, emailed them, and so on and so forth. Here's an example. This is a brand that was new to me in 2021, BM Creations Jr. I learned about this brand from, the first time I heard about this brand was Diecast Dude from Holland. And if you don't know Diecast Dude, he does peg hunting videos all over Europe. And he does diecast reviews in multiple scales, but not just also cars, but also planes and construction equipment and farm equipment. He does some great videos. He's a real nice guy. So I learned about this on his, and then I heard about the brand again through David of Twice Diecast, who is one of the first people I interacted with in this diecast community, and is just an absolutely phenomenal, wonderful human being. He knows a lot about diecast. He knows everybody in the diecast hobby. I think I really do believe that. I believe he knows everybody. I mean, I probably know. I probably interact with I don't know, 15, 20 people. I guess maybe. I mean, I have 400 and some odd, 450, 470 subscribers, and I do talk to a lot of them in comments, and but I think David knows everybody. I really think he does. So here's another cool model that I found through, and again, this is a toss-up. So BM was Diecast Dude, David Johns of Twice, and Small Model Collector. And Small Model Collector, I don't know your first name, so I'm just going to call you Small Model Collector. Although I do feel like I know him because we converse in comments and we mention each other, and you're like, hey, I saw this on, which a lot of us do. So this is by a company called GCD. To me, it's going to be, I'm going to refer to this always as one of those brands that popped up in 2021 with very highly detailed. And so this is a Land Cruiser. This is, again, one of the best detailed I've ever seen. And along those same lines, and this is another one, that was GCD. This is LCD. This is a Land Rover Range Rover SV Autobiography Dynamic, which is just a way of saying it's a very expensive, loaded to the gills, Land Rover Range Rover. And it is beautiful. These two models are amazing, and I love the red paint. But these are brands that I discovered this year. Here's another brand I discovered. I don't know whether I discovered this in 2020 or 2021, but I got my first examples this year. This is Mini Champs 64, which is formerly Paul's Model Art Mini Champs, a European brand. I've done a video on this. You can see the multiple colors there for the interior. The details on these are amazing. And if you're interested in starting to collect these, just be patient and careful. Some of them are reasonable. Some of them are incredibly expensive. Sometimes it's just a matter of waiting. Adjacent to that, I think predating that, is this Paul's Model Art Micro Champs. And this, of course, is a Ford Escort Cosworth RS. And it is beautiful. It is fantastic. Quite frankly, it'll give the green light a run for the money. But to be honest, I think the green light is just marginally better. How sick is that, huh? Green light better than them. And again, Paul's Model Art Mini Champs, I found out, I learned about, now this one I know exactly what channel it was Chasing Diecast Cars out of Belgium. My good friend, I hope your good friend, one of the nicest guys in this hobby. He, in my humble mind, he's a genius. He just seems to know about all these brands. I know a lot about cars, but I mean, so the first one of this brand, Norav, that I received was actually from a dear friend in the UK, Sal of Sal's Diecast Odyssey, and then recently, Joran of Chasing Diecast Cars sent me a bunch of Norav. I think it was 9 or 10. Oh my God, it was amazing. And Norav are a very cool brand. So my year in diecast involves new stuff, some old stuff, but also by watching others, I was inspired to sort of dip my hand in the hobby of customizing. So I have some that are sort of in progress here. I learned how to drill and tap them, strip the paint off them. Repainting is still an issue that I'm dealing with. I'm not thrilled with my paint jobs, sort of like this Mazda Repo, but I'm doing wheel swaps. Let's see. Wheel swaps and repaints. So this is that 1965 Ford Galaxy stock car from Hot Wheels, and I removed the tampos, swapped the wheels, did a little of the taillight, headlight detail. This is still a work in progress, but it rolls pretty good. I swapped on some black steely wheels with white walls to give it a real period look, in my opinion. So, and don't get me wrong, it's not as if I'm just collecting high-end diecast. No. I'm still collecting Hot Wheels and Matchbox. I was very excited the other day. I'm sure you saw, hope you saw, that I was able to get a little Mazda 3 of all things from Matchbox. But here's one of my favorite little wheel swap touch up. This Maverick, and I still so I paused all my custom work, so I still need to finish up the details on a lot of these, and I paused them because I just don't have as much time right now, and also for me, painting, stripping and painting, the ventilation, everything, I'm not going to do it inside the house and cause the whole house to smell, so I was doing it at an empty room at work, but it's not always possible to do that. And again, I'm just not happy with the texture on these paints. I don't know. I'm using rattle cans, aerosol cans. I'm not ready to step up to airbrush or anything like that. And I have such a backlog of customs to take care of. To give you an example, this one is an old Hot Wheels that was sent to me by a very good friend. 2A HD Cat. Tiz, Happy New Year, man. And so he is, pressure. He's nudging me, not pressuring me, to get more into customs. And I want to do this one right. So all I've done on this is drill the base and do a wheel swap. I want to do this one with its matched newer brother, this Plymouth Rampage or Dodge Scamp, whatever, pickup from Hot Wheels. What do they call this? Dodge Rampage. Okay, yeah, Dodge Rampage. And again, I've stripped the paint on this. I've done a wheel swap. Have a little more paint stripping to do there, a little cleanup. So as I get more time in 2022, I may do a few customs. I don't think I'm ready for the build off yet. Maybe, we'll see. I know I did the Pride build off a while ago, back in June. So we're almost 20 minutes into this. Let's see. Oh, one more brand that I was really interested to find, and I don't know whether I'll ever get anymore, is this Granny and Partners. So for the guy that doesn't like supercars, I do like this era of Ferrari, this 365 GTB4. This one from 1968. I think they made it from 1968 till 1973 or 74. And I have versions of this from a couple of... But this Granny and Partners brand is something that I would say is close to Kyosho or Dido. A couple of these Japanese market brands. Well, Granny and Partners, I think, is actually European, but I pick up a very Kyosho vibe on this. And this is very nice. I only have the one. I know they're not a perfect brand, but I like them. And real quick, so you may remember that Chasing Diecast Cars sent me a couple of Kyoshos a while back that are in need of restoration or repair or customization. Here's one of them, and I thought this was interesting. So this one, I believe somebody already, yeah, you can see it's got a respray. It wasn't originally gold. It's not a terrible respray. They did a nice job, although the taillights are now gold. They also drilled the base, but then they used epoxy, so I can't screw the base. Well, maybe we'll see. But if you've ever wanted to see what a Kyosho looks like inside, well, it's not that different from a Hot Wheels. Okay. So if you're looking to get into customs, I always say just buy yourself some inexpensive Hot Wheels and start practicing. Make sure it's a casting that's not rare or hard to find, because you're gonna mess up, and you don't want to deplete the market. You don't want to take something that's hard to find, somebody might need, and destroy it. I hate to say destroy, but there's a possibility. I mean, so I took this El Camino from the art cars, which I considered ugly and goofy, and this will. I mean, it's got orange glass. I don't know what I can do with that, but a yellow interior that can be repainted, a base that can be repainted. It's got purple wheels that can be replaced with something that look more realistic. I have a completed custom of this. I just don't have it at hand, where I've done it all, murdered out, and I don't know exactly what colors I'm going to do this, but it's going to be part of my 2022. Citrus Strip paint and varnish stripping gel. I can recommend this and the aerosol version of this. I bought both. So I'm gonna leave it off here. I will be doing a couple more videos this week. Just I don't know when. It's been kind of a goofy week. But again, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support in so many ways. I mean, let's see. I wanted to mention Diecast, Dan from Romania, as one of the channels that you should be watching, because he has an extensive collection covering Mini GT, TLV, Greenlight, M2, wow, and a few other brands. Wow, Dan, if you watch this video, list the brands that you talk about. I mean, pretty much like the rest of us. He is a master collector. He's also, as I said, Twice Diecast, Chasing Diecast Cars, Sol's Diecast Odyssey, Ultimate Diecast, and Building the Ultimate Diecast collection, which is my good friend T down there in Perth. One of the first channels one of the first 5 or so channels that I interacted with, and a great guy is Fex Death, down in Australia. Here on the East Coast, we've got that I deal with on a more regular basis would be my friend Damien down there at Big Dappuccino, Alex Matchbox Man. Let's see, we've got a whole lot of Zep from Pennsylvania down near Philly, and Diecast Clown. Those are 2 of my friends here on the East Coast. I mean, if you're watching here, I consider you all my friends, but these are the people that I deal with a little bit more regularly, so I'm not trying to... So 25 minutes into it, I'm going to give this one a rest, but again, thank you for watching. Be safe, make the best of your 2022, And I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.